Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Wong. Today our group would like to present about religious views on morality. There are 8 religious perspectives which are practiced in Malaysia, such as Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Hinduism, Sikhism, and animism. Firstly, I would like to talk about the first 3 religions which are Islam, Christianity, and Buddhism. The word Islam means submission to the will of God. The followers of Islam are called Muslims and they are monotheistic and worship one all-knowing God who in Arabic is known as Allah. There are 5 principles of Islam which are profession of faith, shahada, prayer, salat, alms, zakat, fasting, sham, and pilgrimage, haji. Shahada is the belief that there is not God but God and Muhammad is the messenger of God, is central to Islam. Salat means Muslim pray facing Mecca 5 times a day at dawn, noon, mid-afternoon, sunset, and after dark. Zakat means Muslims donate a fixed portion of their income to community members in need according to the Islamic law. Sham means the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. All healthy adult Muslims are required to abstain from food and drink during the daylight hours of Ramadan. Lastly, Haji means every Muslim whose health and finances permit it must make at least one visit to the holy city of Mecca in present-day Saudi Arabia. Besides, Muslims also have the Islamic ethics in their societies. For instance, Islamic ethics are those universal standards of right and wrong that prescribe what humans ought to do as taught by the Quran and demonstrated in the exemplary life of the Prophet Muhammad. Next, Christianity is the faith tradition that focuses on the figure of Jesus Christ. Followers of the Christian religion base their beliefs on the life, teachings, and death of Jesus Christ. Christians believe in one God that created heaven, earth, and the universe. As we can see, Mother Teresa as a Christian helps lots of needy people in Calcutta, India. For example, when she saw innocent children without education, she brought them and began to teach them without any equipment provided. Thus, she picked out a stick and began to teach them on the dirt. Christian ethics teaches the Christian how to live. Christian ethics asks what the whole Bible teaches Christians about which acts, attitudes, and personal character traits receive God's approval and which ones do not. It is important to study Christian ethics so that we can better know God's will and so that each day we can walk in a manner worthy of the law, fully pleasing to Him. Bible teaches Christians how to live a life that is pleasing to God because it is the Word of God. The Bible is a higher authority in ethics than tradition, religion, experience, expected results, or subjective perception of guidance. Lastly, the term Buddhism, also known as Buddha Dharma or Dharma Vinaya, is an Indian religion of philosophical tradition based on a series of original teachings attributed to Gautama Buddha. The Buddhism has the path practices which is called the Noble Eightfold Path. It consists of 8 practices which are right view, right resolve, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Right view means every action has consequences. That is not the end. And the actions and beliefs have consequences after death. Right resolve means the giving out of home and adopting the life of a religious mendicant in order to follow the path. Right speech means not lying, not rude speech, not telling one person what another said about him to cause discord or harm their relationship. Right conduct means not killing or injuring, not talking what is not given, not sexual misconduct, and not material desires. Right livelihood means not trading in weapons, living beings, meat, liquor, and poisons. Right effort means preventing the arising of unawesome states and generating awesome states. Right mindfulness means developing awareness of the body, sensations, feelings, and states of mind. Lastly, right concentration means developing the method focus necessary for the awareness. Giving is the primary ethical activity that Buddhism learn to develop throughout their life. Compassion and non-harmfulness are basic Buddhist principles of social and environmental ethics. They generate non-violent action towards others and lead to a more peaceful world. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
We are talking about the Sikhs, by more accurate name, which is Sikhs. Now, what is Sikhs? The Sikhs are people from northern India who subscribe to the section of 10 important rules. Their philosophy is encapsulated in the Group1 Presentation2, which is the holy book of Sikhism. In general, Sikhs believe in one God, accurate among all, freedom or religion and community service. The sixth, the sixth religion is independent from the other major monotheistic religions, as well as Buddhism and Hinduism. Sikhs are as well known from a few distinct physical attributes. Men usually wear specific type of turban called dashtan, and both men and women often wear a steel or iron bracelet called kala. A Sikh on top head and the bracelet are two of the five articles of wear that they are expected to wear at all times. The other articles included woolen, cotton undergarment, and a citrus daga. The five articles symbolize a Sikh committed to their faith. Sikhism originated in the 15th century in Punjab, region of what is now northern Pakistan and India. Following the independence of the South American colonies from British in 1947, Punjab was split into Pakistan and India. This caused civil unrest and violence for a long time. Although tension had cooled since the 90s, the most holy Sikh Gurudwara or place of worship is Golden Temple in India. The Pew Research Centre reports the Sikhism is the fifth largest religion worldwide, and there are around 25 million adherents. Nine of the 10 Sikhs reportedly live in India, but there are large communities abroad, especially in the UK, United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. Next, we're talking about the animism. Animism is the word that often associated with Africa and is often called a religion and even the world's oldest religion. This actually shows misunderstanding about what animism is. So let's look into it and see what animism actually is. Animism can still be found today throughout the whole world, from jungle of South America and Africa to even modern cities like New York, but not necessarily in the way you might think. The word animism comes from the Latin "anima", which means breath, spirit, or life, and simply put animism in the belief that objects, places, and creatures can all possess a distinct spiritual essence, and the potentially animism specifies all things like animals, plants, rock, river, weather system, human handiwork, and perhaps even work as animate and life. Animism is officially called a religion, but one of the definitions of religions is a particular system of faith in worship. This means for animism itself is not a religion as started by Wikipedia, but a vague understanding that everything has a spirit, and spiritual access is more of the way to feel rather than a doctrine. But religion can be administrated, and administrative faith are more of the oldest religion and belief in the world. An example of a faith with animism root is actually the Japanese Shinto folk religion. In fact, this concept of animism sometimes affects some Japanese people feel object. For instance, a famous story tells how in the 1970s, when American companies like Ford when trying to sell cars in Japan, and despite the best offer they're struggling to sell any. When investigating why their car were not selling well, it was found out that one reason there was the car looked sadly because of their design. In conclusion, the intersection of morality and religion involves the relationship between feelings and morals. It is common for religion to have value framework regarding personal behavior, means to guide are handled in determining between right and wrong. Religion and morality are not synonyms. Throughout religion may depend on morality and even develop alongside morality. Morality does not necessarily depend upon religion, despite more making an almost automatic assumption to this effect.
So proudly to shout, la di da di da di dum.